Math warm-up time. Go ahead and number your dry erase board or your paper from 1 to 4. Take a look at these 4 problems, and I would like you to write an estimate equation with the answer. Pause your video. All right, for our first one, I would round that as 50 times 20 equals 1,000. I personally would round the second one to 200 times 40 equals 8,000. Now don't forget, you may be picking different numbers than I do, and that's okay if you're in the ballpark. For our third one, I did 600 times 1 equals 600. And for our last one, I did 400 times 4 equals 1,600. So how'd you do? Are yours close to mine? Are they the same? Hopefully they are. Great job. For our math message today, you are going to need your student math journal. You're going to open that to page 270. And go ahead and take a look at the top of that page and see if you can't go ahead and complete that section. Pause your video, come on back when you're ready. All right, so let's take a look here. It told us that Carla earns $20 per hour. So if we look down here at the table, we have 1 hour worked, she's going to have $20. 2 hours, she'll have $40. 3 hours, she'll have $60. So if we come back up to letter A, write a rule that describes how much she earns, we could write it as number of hours worked times $20 equals earnings. And I couldn't quite fit my S on there, but it is there, I promise. So we filled out our table, and then what we would do is we would transfer those corresponding terms and make our ordered pairs here. So we'd have 1 and 20, 2 and 40, and 3 and 60. Our lesson today is Rules, Tables, and Graphs, Part 2. So the reason we're doing this lesson today, become more proficient in solving real-world problems using tables and graphs. That sounds like a previous why. Be able to graph 2 sets of data in one graph. Oh, that's a little different. And use tables and graphs to compare situations in which there are 2 different rules that relate to 2 sets of corresponding terms. So that's how we're going to go about that today. So to get started today, we are going to continue our study of tables and rules and graphs. But in order to do that, I need you to get out your student math journal, and we're going to go back to page 266, where we had originally graphed information about our good old friend Andy. And if you will remember, Andy earned $8 an hour for a job that he did. So you should have graphed Andy's earnings, which should be here on your book. You should have it also in the same spot, of course. And notice that we have our arrows at the ends of both of our lines there. And this is labeled Andy's earnings. What we're going to add to that is Carla's earnings that we just did in the math message. So you might need to kind of look back at what you put for Carla's earnings as far as the ordered pairs go. The first one being 1 and 20. So we're going to go over 1 up 20, place a dot. The second one was 2 and 40. So we would go over 2 up to 40. And the third one was 3 and 60. So we go over 3 up to 60. So we've got dots in all 3 of those locations. And then, of course, we're going to take a straight edge and we're going to make that line, put our arrows at both ends, and we're going to label that Carla's earnings. So what I want you to pay attention to now is we have 2 sets of data points on one graph. And that is what we are going to be working toward doing in today's lesson. So if you haven't, go ahead and finish up your graph on 266. Pause your video if you need to, and then we will continue. So for practice today, I wanted to go through a problem just to kind of show you what you're going to be doing with the work that you'll have. So on the left, we've got the problem itself, and I've kind of broken it into two parts here to get it to fit on the screen. But we have Riley's car uses 1 gallon of gasoline every 18 miles. And then we have Tom's car uses 1 gallon of gasoline every 36 miles. Write a rule for each car, then complete the tables and write ordered pairs. So you notice we have a table here that says Riley's car. We have one here that says Tom's car. They've got a spot for us to put the rule for both of those. We're going to figure out what our corresponding terms are going to be, turn them into ordered pairs for both of the tables, and then we're going to plot those over here and answer the questions on the right. Okay, so let's take a look at this first part. So I didn't have a lot of space to fill in the rule here, but normally I would write more than what I could get in here. So for the rule, that would be gallons times 18 is going to equal the distance, and I couldn't fit all of that in there, but for Riley's car, that's what we would do. And for Tom's car, we would do gallons times 36 would each equal the distance. So I then applied that rule to get each of my numbers here in the table. So 2 times 18 is 36, for example, and 3 times 18 is 54. And then we do over here on Tom's side, 1 times 36 is 36, 2 times 36 is 72, 3 is 108. Then we filled in our ordered pairs here. And now we are ready to start plotting that data. Now notice that it's information for Riley's car and information for Tom's car. So I might want to put that data in there in 2 different colors, or if you want to do the same color, that works as well. So the first thing that I did was I took Riley's ordered pairs, and I did my best to try to plot those on this very tiny graph. But what I want to draw your attention to is these numbers on the y-axis here on the left side. Notice we go from 0 to 100. So that means 50 is going to be kind of here in the middle, and 25 is going to be in the middle of that. So it was really kind of hard for me to put those dots where they needed to go. So they're in the general vicinity to give you guys an idea. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plot the information for Tom's car. All right, so if you take a look here, I put Tom in green. I went ahead and labeled his name for that particular line, and Riley here. So we can see that we have 2 data sets plotted on the same graph. Now we're going to take a look at the questions. Number 3 says, about how far could each car travel on 2 1/2 gallons of gasoline? Riley's car could travel about blank miles. Tom's car could travel about blank miles. All right, so if we take a look at Riley's car, it should be about 45 miles on 2 1/2 gallons. And how do I know that? I know 2 gallons is 36, and half of 1 would be 9. So 36 plus 9 is going to give me about 45. And then for Tom's car is about 90 miles. So again, we're going to look at how much it was for 2, which was 72. And then half of 36 and add that to the 72, we get to 90. So the last part is extend each line to find about how many miles each car could travel on 6 gallons of gas. So remember, we only did 3 gallons, so we're doubling that. So we're going to take our lines and we're going to extend them to 6. So most likely it's going to follow that same trajectory. And then we would do the same with the green to get to 6. And as you can see, we have quite a difference there. But most likely Riley's car could travel about 110 miles, roughly. And Tom's car could travel about 220 miles. And I know that's hard to see in that graph because of the size, but you get the idea. So there you have it. That's how we would figure out the rules for our in and out tables. Take two sets of data, go ahead and plot those in a graph, and then we can answer questions based on that graph. So let's summarize what we've done today. We can use data from real world situations to create graphs that allow us to make predictions, answer questions, and further our understanding of data. We can plot more than one data set on a graph and compare the data. No biggie. See you in class.